welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. Today I'm going to be talking about the books that I am planning to read in September. So this September I've set myself a sort of challenge really to read lots of non-fiction books. So I've been wanting to read non-fiction this year and struggling to sort of find books that I think I'd like or that I'd actually get all the way through. And I was in the library picking out books, and it just so happened that a lot of the books that I'd picked were non-fiction books, and also coincidentally two of the books that I'm reading for two of my book clubs this month are also non-fiction. So I thought to myself, hey, let's have a non-fiction reading book month, non-fiction book reading month. And there's only one book on this whole entire list that is fiction, and I will start with that actually. So I'm going to be reading for my radio book club Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I'm going to be reading this on my Kindle because I haven't read anything on my Kindle in ages, and I bought the I didn't buy it, I haven't bought it yet. I got the sample chapter, so I'm going to start with that and then I'm going to buy the book. And I'm really looking forward to getting to read my Kindle again because I haven't read anything on my Kindle for about 6 months. So looking forward to that. And obviously if people haven't seen the film of Stardust, which is very popular and very wonderful, it's my dad's favourite film. It tells the tale of a guy, Tristan, who is in love with a bit of a cow, and she says to him, I will marry you if you go and get me a fallen star. He has to leave his town of Wall, which he has never left before, and travel across a sort of fantastical wonderland really, with witches and wizards, air pirates and things like that, to get this fallen star, then return it to her so that he can marry her. And I haven't read the book before, but I've seen the film many times, and if it's anything like the film, then I think I'm going to absolutely love it. I've heard it's slightly different to the film, so looking forward to seeing the differences there. And I've wanted to read Neil Gaiman for ages, hear such wonderful things about him, so looking forward to reading that. But now for the non-fiction books. So I'll start with the other two book club books that I'm going to be reading. We are going to be reading Yes Man by Danny Wallace in my book club at work. I have read this before and I absolutely love it. It is hilarious. My favourite chapter in it is the chapter he goes to Amsterdam. There's just hilarious things in it. So this is a story about a guy, Danny, who always says no to everything. His friends ask him down the pub, he says no. His girlfriend asks him if he wants to go on holiday, no. And one day he decides that he is going to say yes more. So he decides to say yes to everything. So this is little things all the way up to big things, and it's just got hilarious results. And I really loved this the first time I read it. I've seen the film, I thought the book was better, and I'm really looking forward to reading this again. So I feel like giggling now, just knowing what I've got to come. So my last book club book is my online book club, and we will be reading Philomena by Martin Sixsmith. This tells the tale of a woman, Philomena, a true life story obviously, it's not fiction, about a woman, Philomena, who fell pregnant outside of wedlock in Ireland in the 50s. She had the baby and brought it up in a convent with nuns for about 3 years, I think. I haven't read it or seen the film. And then they take the baby away from her and put it up for adoption. And this is the tale of her and a journalist trying to find that son. I've heard it is heartbreaking and unbelievable, and I am looking forward to reading it. I haven't seen the film, as I said, but my mum has recently seen the film and she said it was brilliant, and she was hoping to read the book, and then on the same day this got announced as a book club book. Spooky. So yeah, looking forward to reading this. I think it's going to be really hard hitting and sad, but looking forward to reading it. The next books I've got are Yes Please by Amy Poehler. This is the autobiography of Amy Poehler. I have only seen things of Amy Poehler. My boyfriend is in love and mad about Parks and Recreations, so I've only seen her in this, but I think she's really funny in that. And this book looks really good. It's I wouldn't say it's like your regular autobiography of this is what happened in my life, my parents were like this. It looks really different and cool. So, and this also won Goodreads humour book, Goodreads 2014 most humorous book. So looking forward to reading that. It's a heavy book. It's only small, but it's really heavy. So that is one of the first autobiographies. I will go in the order of autobiographies then. The next autobiography I've got is Dermot O'Leary's The Soundtrack to My Life. This is another slightly different autobiography. I believe I've heard him talking about it on a radio show. It doesn't again go through the I was born and my parents are like this. It tells his life through songs, so what his favourite songs are and what they mean to him and things like that. So that interests me, and I like Dermot, so I'm looking forward to reading that. the last book I've got, which isn't actually an autobiography, it's a bit embarrassing really. It is The Unexpected Adventures of Martin Freeman. So this is an unofficial, looks to me, unofficial biography on Martin Freeman. Now, I love Martin Freeman. I have a very big spot for Martin Freeman in my heart. I fancy him quite a lot, even though he's a bit boring looking and he seems a bit grumpy, but I just really, really like him. And I'm looking forward to reading this. I wasn't even going to put this in this book because I'm a bit embarrassed about it. I wasn't even going to put this book in this video because I feel a bit embarrassed about the fact that I really want to read this. But hey, I really want to read this because I really like Martin Freeman. So that as well. The last two books I've got are a book called Lost Cat, A True Story of Love, Desperation and GPS Technology by Caroline Paul. This is a book about a lady whose cat goes missing. I have a cat that I am, Minnie, she is my daughter. I feel like I gave birth to her. I love her that much. And I saw this on the shelves of the library and thought that looks like something I'd be interested in. The cat goes missing. Thankfully, she comes back, and then they fit her with a GPS, and it just tells the story of where she goes with it and what they see on the cat's GPS, which I just think would be really interesting. So that, and then lastly, is a book that I'm really excited about. It's called Back in Time for Dinner, and this is put together by Mary Gwynn. So there was a series that was on the BBC probably a few months ago, spanning about 6 or 7 episodes, and a family had to cook and eat the foods and dress in the clothes and do the activities for each decade. I love food and I cook all the time and I talk about food to anyone that will listen if I'm not talking about reading. And yeah, I just found the series really, really interesting, and like a bit nostalgic as well. I was born in the 80s, so I could remember some things from the 80s and the 90s and the noughties, obviously. And then when I saw that there was a book companion to it, I was like, that is something that I'm absolutely going to love. So really looking forward to getting to this. This is proper non-fiction. This isn't autobiography. This is like non-fiction about food from different decades and things. But yeah, I thought this series that was on the BBC was really accessible, so hopefully the book will be just the same. So those are the books that I'm going to read in September. It's not as many as usual, but then I do feel that non-fiction books sometimes do take a bit more work to get through. So I have got here 2, 4, 6, 8 books, including the one on my Kindle, and yeah, that's it. Whoa. So yeah, that's it for me for September, non-fiction. Excited. If anyone has read any non-fiction books and has got a particular favourite, then please let me know. If anyone has seen this and thought, hey, I would like to read some non-fiction in September, then please join in and let me know what you've got planned. If you're in one of my book clubs, then you may already be reading a non-fiction book, and good for you. But if you want to read something else, then just let me know and I would love to hear what you've got planned. I'm now going to go for a Sunday roast dinner around my parents' house because that is what Sundays are all about. Hope you have a lovely day, guys.